Tell us about your vision of the music industry, not only of your career, but just to be more specific in terms of what you see as a positive, in this industry, or how the industry obviously has changed drastically over all these years, of course.
Well, a lot of people are pining for the old days, which I find very interesting. And I think you see that every decade when things sort of change. Everybody says, why can't it be the way it always was? But I'm just one of those people that don't feel that way. Quite frankly, my CDs are doing better online than they did in the record stores. I reach more people than I used to. I think it was more charming when we had record stores, and there was more of a musical community at large, and you actually saw people face to face. And so, there's always a trade-off. You can't argue with that kind of closeness or contact. But which, by the way, when I do Barnes & Noble, the concerts at Barnes & Noble, and you guys all know Steve Sorrentino.
Sure.
When I do those concerts, I get that feeling when I do that. But just in terms of the business itself, interestingly enough, I went into this kicking and screaming, this whole internet thing, because I didn't think that I was going to be someone that even could deal with, being any different than I ever was before, But I have to tell you the truth, it's really better. And it's better for the consumer as well. Because what happened to the consumers, they got lost in the last 20 years. Why did they get lost? They got lost because they were stuck in a world where everybody just wanted to hear a particular type of thing. And if you liked a different particular type of thing, you were sort of shut out of the market. Where now, it's sort of departmentalized, and there's something out there online for whatever musical taste you have. So you can find those artists that you like. And it's really better for the consumer. It's better for the artist. It's just not as charming as it used to be. I don't know, Andrew, what do you think about this?
Well, I don't know if I'd agree that it's not as charming as it used to be. I think it's a whole other animal these days.
Yes, but it was charming when you could be sort of face-to-face with the people that were promoting your things, and you could see the audience, and they would come to the stores, and you'd sign the CDs. There was something lovely about that sort of hands-on.
Right.
But you're just getting to so many more people now than you ever could before.
No.
Worldwide.
Yes.
Worldwide.
No, you have a wonderful website and other ways.
And my Facebook page.
And your Facebook page, if you could give out any information about...
Well, I'm on Facebook, and there are like over 5,000 people on my Facebook page, and we get hundreds of people a day. I mean, it's amazing. How this took off is like, I thought, I'll try Facebook. It'll be nice. I'll meet a few people. And then all of a sudden, one day I woke up, I was brushing my teeth, I turned on my computer, and there were 5,000 people. I thought, what am I giving away here?
And the website's wonderful, too.
And my website is extremely busy. But, it's interesting. I've gotten to sort of know a lot of these people. And I like them.
Isn't it wonderful? It's a great feeling.
I love them. They have been like real pals to me, and I send them little messages, and they send messages to me.
Right.
And it's interesting because I was talking to Richard Skipper, who's my press agent and also a wonderful talent as well. And I said, Richard, you know what I noticed about my page, my Facebook page? And he said, what's that? I said, everybody is like really nice. He says, it's a no-smut zone. He said, you're not going to allow any of that stuff, Julie. And you want to know something? People come to my page. It's really nice. They're very supportive. I have lots of artists. Lots of artists. Yeah. And all kinds, sculptors and painters and vocalists and ballet dancers. And some people that, as a living, they do something else, but their secret passion is really the arts. And, they wish that they could do that full time. And all these people that come to my page because they love the arts. And I thought, wow, that's my thing. My Facebook page, because I was wondering, what am I doing here, I'm sitting here with 5,000 strangers, but they're not strangers anymore. A lot of them are listening in tonight. God bless them. I love them.
There's a very interesting place called Museum of Interesting Things.
Oh, I met them at APAP. Are you kidding? I love them.
And Denny Daniels here. If you could just take the mic for a moment.
Oh, yeah.
He's been one of my great fans for many years, and he brings these cylinders in, and he brings the old time back.
With history.
With
great
history.
Yeah.
And a lot of history, is right here in this studio right now, and I just wanted to concur that, you've brought so many interesting things in here, and the museum itself is, maybe you could tell those people that you get so many wonderful people that come to your events as well, that I'm sure you could have Julie come down one day, and she'd love to be part of it, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely, and I have the same opinion as Julie about this. Although I show people wax cylinders from 110 years ago and wind-up monkeys with cymbals from ages ago, which are right now all over Teddy's studio right now.
Right.
Look at this.
It's gorgeous.
Everybody.
You can't miss.
I felt the same way about Facebook. I started, at first I was like, oh, this is crazy, and it's not as personal. I'm a person who calls people. It's a wonder I don't have a box wooden telephone. But, Facebook, I think, brings people together even more.
Yeah.
And it gets people closer, and you get to reach people that are in Australia much more than you ever could have. Before you'd have to wait for, the mail, a carrier pigeon, a boat to deliver a message.
And I'm shocked with the amount of lovely people I've been meeting.
Yeah, everyone is so sweet. I'm not getting any yuckiness.
They love the art.
And what is great is that Olga has a great magazine about the arts, and she can give out all of that information.
Oh, yeah.
If you could.
Of course. Well, first of all, I want to say that songs like Julie sings and her voice and the whole presence inspires artists like us to paint, because what I do when I get ready for painting, the process being created in such a particular position.
Sure.
So I put the music on, I listen to her songs, and then it comes to me.
Well, thank you.
So it's part of the creative process, so you cannot separate music and art.
Well, but that's what my Facebook friends have been telling me. They said, exactly what you're saying, that when they do their work, they all have an interesting process. And they start sharing what that is. This person does it this way, and this person works a little bit that way, and somebody likes to work, some people like to work in silence. Some people like to work in music, as you said. It's just interesting to see the way people bring all this gorgeous work to this universe, and they share it. And we all kind of share our process and what we're going through in our lives. It's very charming. And like Denny said, I didn't think I was going to like it either, because I'm a little bit of a private person. I really am. I mean, I'm not such a sharer.
And this magazine, Pop and Presca Journal, is a very special magazine.
I think my fans would love this.
They would.
They would love this.
And actually, this magazine is good because we do like mini bio stories. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring your story from how you started, and I think it's fascinating, since you were 12, and then how you grew, and then what you've become, and you developed such a powerful woman and powerful performer. And I think a lot of people that are on stage right now, they learn from you. And
thank you.
That is the key to be successful.
And what is the key in your life, Julie, but in terms of keeping positive and staying in shape and keeping, a great mindset? Is there any advice you could give our people out there about how you've done this for so many years, and how you have so much energy and so much joy and so much...
Well, we're all, everybody has their battles that they fight. There's not a person sitting in this room or listening to the sounds of our voices that doesn't have something that they have to overcome. Some have more than others, some have less than others. We're all on a sliding scale, as I say.
Sure.
No one is above this. And you could be on the top and find yourself on the bottom tomorrow. Life is a very interesting journey. But I think one of the things that we all need to have if we want to survive is faith, and then the other thing I think we need to have is compassion.
Humanity.
Yes. Because
Olga was talking about that last Friday night.
You really have to have that. And I think in order to create, you need to have that, because you have to bring the human aspect to your work, whether you're creating wonderful pieces from the past, whether you're creating silk pieces of today, whether you're creating songs, whether you're talking to people on the internet or over the radio. You need, or whether you're writing an article, you need to be able to understand that there's a big universe out there, and you need to be humble about where you are, especially when things are good. You need to be able to tap into the, I think, the experience of other people.
Now, a house is not a home,
Yes.
is it?
A house is a home when the people that you love are there.
Thank you. I really, really want to play this song right here, and tell us a little bit about the song, if you could.
Well, that's from a CD that I did called The New Classics. And that was a very, very much kind of in the feeling of they wrote the songs to the extent of I was tipping my hat to the writers that are a little bit more contemporary but have become the new classics of our generation.
Andrew, you'd like to echo?
Such as Burt Bacharach and Hal David.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No, you're spot on with that. Absolutely, 100%, Julie.
Yeah, and I think it's important, if cabaret is going to get younger, to acknowledge the people that are going to be the new classics. Because as much as we love Gershwin and Arlen and Sigmund Romberg and whoever, was here before us, we also have to acknowledge that in order for our work to go on, there's a future. There isn't just a past.
Right. Well, I think that's why it's so poignant that you include the song "Perfect" by Ann Hampton Callaway.
Absolutely.
Because she's, look, I could talk for hours and hours and hours about Ann and her greatness and
But that's all about her humanity too, and
Yes.
that's why she writes that well.
yes.
And Julie, who was your favorite singer growing up? Did you have one or two?
Julie Andrews.
Julie
Oh,
Andrews. There's another
I
show
got
we're
into
gonna have
show
to do.
business because of Julie Andrews.
Wow.
Did you ever have the chance to meet her?
Do you know, I tell you, Olga, I've met everyone, I've worked with everyone, and somehow I have not met Julie Andrews. So Julie, if you're out there, there's a kid from Brooklyn that really likes you.
What was Julie's inspiration that got you to the point of where you are today? If one
I
thing.
remember my parents went every Saturday night to see a Broadway show. It was always a musical. And they used to bring home the original cast albums. And one day my mother went shopping, and she brought home an original cast album of a show that was not on Broadway at that time, but had been previously on Broadway. And I was an infant when it was on Broadway, but my mom wanted me, who was also a great talent, my mother, God bless her, who wanted me to hear the voice of this woman. Who, my mother said she sang like a lark. Those were my mother's words. And she brought me the soundtrack of My Fair Lady. And I remember I heard, for the first time, I was 5, I heard I could have danced all night. And I remember I hit those notes just like Julie Andrews. And when my father came home from work that night, and he was sitting at the dining room table eating his dinner, I said, "Papa, put down the newspaper. I have something to show you." And I sang that for my dad, and my father went crazy. Forget about it. If I robbed a bank, my father would think it was brilliant. But I knew then I was going to be in show business, and it was because of Julie Andrews inspired me.
Well, here's Julie Budd right here with a wonderful song, "A House Is Not a Home."
Burt Bacharach and Hal David.
WPAT. Teddy Smith with Julie Budd. I like this interview. This is fun. We can go for hours and then stream of consciousness chatting without notes. This is great.
You don't need a lot when you know what you want to do.
Where you want to go with it.